Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Marcin and I'm a software developer that works mainly in Java. In this channel I will be sharing code snippets, tips and tricks that helped me throughout my career. I'll start with topics related to unit testing because I believe that every project needs a set of well-written unit tests. Today I'll cover AssertJ's extracting method that lets us write assertions not on the whole object but rather on a subset of its properties, which is very convenient whenever we have a list and we want to assert its contents. Let's go! Here I have a very simple project with only the necessary set of dependencies, namely JUnit Jupyter Engine and AssertJ core. I also have a class that represents a building with its name, height and a completion date, and a simple service that will sort our buildings by height. And now let's move on to our test. We have an initial list of buildings that we want to sort from tallest to the smallest. So let's start with instantiating our service. And now let's feed our service the buildings and create the actual result of our sorting. So we'll just call the sort by height on our buildings list. And now we want to check if the result of our sort by height method is what we expected. For this we will use AssertJ. Let's go to the assertions and remember to use the assertions from AssertJ, not from JUnit. And we start with assert that, our actual data. And basically what we could do is just assert that it contains exactly, and here copy all the building definitions, the building objects to the contains exactly, and populate this with the building objects. But it has some drawbacks, namely if we ever wanted to extend our building class, we need to then change it in two places or create a dedicated constructor for the tests. And to be honest, we don't really need all the things in the building class to assert. So let's just focus on asserting what we need. And for our test, our intention is to check if the buildings are sorted by height. So basically we don't care about the local date here. We can just limit our assertions to name or height. Let's go with name. So we'll go with the extracting method. And here we will extract the building name. And as you can see, the contains exactly now shows me an error because it doesn't expect a building, it expects a list of strings right now. So we need to also change this contains exactly and populate it with building names in the order that we are expecting them to show. So let's do this right now. I'll just quickly copy paste it, and then we will run our test to check if everything is fine. So our data is here, and now if we run our test, we can see that the test has passed. If we make error here, so if the actual list doesn't match our expected list of names, like let's say we put the names like this, then we'll get a very nice error from AssertJ telling us the element at index 1 was something other that was expected, and the same for element at index 2. Likewise, if we forget something, like our expected list will be will be smaller than the actual list, then also we see that some elements in our actual list were not expected. So in this case, AssertJ gives us very nice information about what is wrong. And let's say now that just asserting the building name isn't enough for us. We want to make sure that it's the correct building with the correct height. So let's add the height to our assertions. So instead of just extracting the building name, we will extract the building height also. And as you can see, the contains exactly now, it expects a list of tuples, because now that we extract two values, then we don't check against a list of strings. Instead, we check against a list of tuples. So we need to wrap all this in a tuple object. Let's do this right now. And now that we are done with this, let's again check our test. So again, we see the test has passed. We can verify this by removing one of the buildings from the list. For example, let's remove this one. A quick and dirty check. And AssertJ tells us that he couldn't find this element that we just removed from the list. So everything works fine, our test works. And the extracting method is really a very useful tool whenever we need to check something, assert something on a list or any other collection. And this concludes the video. Thank you for watching, have a nice day, and I hope to see you soon on my channel. Thank you and bye.